Welcome to Tech in the Car. Today we're going to test the range on the Kia E-Niro. This is a 64 kilowatt hour battery version. It's got a range of about 280 miles, and we're going to compare it to Clive's beautiful Model 3 long range, which has a range of 310 miles. We're going to go about 170 miles up to Rugby grid serve, and we'll see how far we go. Give me a like if you find it useful and subscribe for more. Let's get on with it. So what are the rules for this drive? So the first thing is, really important, this is in eco mode. I've got the regen braking at max. The Tesla doesn't have an eco mode, but it's in its most energy saving mode as well. So we've got very similar settings in the car. I have a feeling that both these cars will end up pretty similarly matched when it comes to overall range of performance. And we will give Clive a call in a minute and see how his Tesla is doing. So quick update on our journey. 14 miles driven, 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, and we've been driving about half an hour. We got 95% battery and 260 miles of range. So let's give Clive a call and see how his car is doing.
Hello, Oliver.
Hello. So we've been driving about half an hour. How is your range and your economy looking?
Right, at the moment it says it's 8 minutes past 11. We've done 14.8 miles.
Yep.
And an average of 252 watt hours per mile.
Okay.
Oh, just 250 watt hours per mile.
Okay, so on my car it shows 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, so it's showing in a different amount, but obviously I've got the same distance as you. What is your range showing now?
It says 267 miles.
So 267. So I've got 260 miles of range. So we're very, very closely matched. It'll be very interesting. Yeah.
Comparable, yeah.
Okay.
So how many miles have you done now?
So 15.3 miles, which is the same as you, I'm guessing. Like I said, 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 34 minutes driven, 95%, and 259 miles. Has gone down slightly now. So we're at Cobham services now, and I have 75% battery left, and I've driven 73.3 miles, average out 4 miles per kilowatt hour. We drive 1 hour and 39 minutes. Clive, how is your car looking? What's your range going on your economy?
Well, my battery is 74%, and I have 210 mile of range.
So I have 208. I forgot to mention that. I got 208, so we're very, very close.
Okay. Yeah, and I've got 236 watt hours per mile.
So we're at the services now at Cobham. We're going to have a little break, and then we're going to carry on to Rugby. Like I said, 208 miles left for me, 210 for Clive. We'll see what we end up with. Welcome to the Tesla Model 3 long range. So I'm carrying on in this car. We've swapped cars for a little bit. The range on the Tesla is 209 miles. We've got 50 miles to go to Oxford services, where we're going to do another swap over. It says that will take 1 hour and 16 minutes. So yeah, 209 miles. When we came into services, they were very similar. The Kia had 207 miles of range left, and the Tesla Model 3 long range had 210. So there was slightly, a tiny bit more range. This will be really interesting to see on this next stretch how it is and how it performs. So I'm here in a Tesla. We're on the M25 heading towards the next stop at Rugby services. The Tesla's telling me I've got 199 miles of range left, and we've got to our next stop, which isn't Rugby, but the next stop is about 39 miles away. So 199 in total. What about you, Clive, in the Kia? What's going on there?
The eNiro is telling me 192 miles. We've done 84.8 miles at 4 miles per kilowatt hour.
Again, quite similar. There's about 5 miles difference in range. It'd be very interesting to see if that difference gets wider or stays the same, or maybe gets smaller as we get further into the batteries. Let's check in now on our progress. 188 miles of range left on the Tesla. In a second, we'll check in with the Kia. But I thought I'd share my thoughts on the Tesla because I haven't been driving Tesla on this channel before. So I'll be using the autopilot, and you know what? I love the fact that it stays in the middle of the lane. I was having this conversation with Clive about how other cars have torque steer. Definitely don't feel that in a Tesla. It's really stays where it is. I do find the indicator is one of those not pressing down fully kind of indicators. I don't like that. That is a very minor thing. It's a very easy car to drive. Also, I waved at somebody in a Tesla. I was told that was the thing to do, and they waved back at me. So didn't know that was a thing. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah. So, but the question is, how is the range doing? So let's give Clive a call. So update from the Tesla. This car's gone 97.4 miles and it's averaging 235 watt hours per mile. We've got 184 miles of range left. What is the situation in the Kia, Clive?
The Kia is 99.5 miles. It's just ticked over to 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour and 178 miles of range.
So it looks like maybe, yeah, because I mean, I left my place and came to meet you, so I've done a couple more miles. So actually, that would suggest that maybe they're pretty much identical. So, like, what did you say the range remaining was?
The range is 178 miles.
Okay, and this is showing 183. So very interesting. Okay, all right. Well, let's keep an eye on it, and we'll see when we get to the next stop how we're doing. So we are now about halfway between London and Rugby. In total, we've done 163.3 miles, average out 3.8 miles per kilowatt, and we've been driving for 4 hours and 11 minutes. And the battery on this car is currently at 38%, and we've got 99 miles left to go. Time for an update on your Tesla. So my car is telling me I've got 99 miles left to go of range, and I'm at 38% of battery. 30, yeah, that's right. What is your car telling you?
Yeah, mine says 38% and 109 miles.
Okay, so we've got the same percentage battery, and again, it's about well, it's 10 miles difference now. So we have 22 miles left to go. So it would be very interesting to see what we end up when we get there at. So we're about halfway between London and Birmingham, on the way to where we're going to stop to charge up the cars. I've driven 164.3 miles, 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. So it says 4 hours, 14 minutes of driving, 100 miles. Now it says on my car, it said 99 a minute ago. Now it says 100, and I've got 38% of battery left. So Clive, what is your situation in your Tesla, please?
Well, my car says 162.7 miles. We've done 248 watt hours per mile, which is just over 4 miles per kilowatt. And it says 107 miles remaining and 38%.
About 10 miles difference in our car ranges, so it'll be interesting to see what we end up with. So your car knows that we're on the way towards a supercharger right now. Is that correct, Clive?
Yes, yeah, it knows we're off to the Rugby services.
And so what does that mean for your car?
My car is currently pre-conditioning the battery, so it's putting roughly 7 kilowatts of power through the motors, so 3.5 kilowatts to each, which is heating the motor up. Then that heat gets transferred using the cooling system and is put in the battery. So my battery is centigrade, and it's currently sitting at 41.8 and going up slowly. So by the time we get to Rugby, the battery should be at about 50 degrees centigrade.
Okay, so just to repeat that, just in case that wasn't very clear or it cut out, your Tesla is preheating its battery so it charges faster, and as a result it's using some of its power, some of its available battery power to do the heating on the car.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So it'll be interesting to see when we get there what the range is. Will it have affected the Tesla range? Will it have brought it down to below the Kia? Or will it stay above? I guess we'll find out in about 20 miles when we get there. We are at the GridServe electric charging here in Rugby. I've done 185.9 miles, 77 miles of range remaining. I have little doubt that this car can do at least 260 miles out of that 280 range. It probably can get up to 280, especially in nice warm weather. That's really So we're going to check up on the Tesla now, see how that's done, and also see how Kia Charge works. Kia Charge is Kia's new way of pulling together all of the different electric car charging companies and all the different systems and allowing you to charge using one card. It's a really clever idea. It makes things a lot easier, and I really, really like it. So we're going to try that out in a little bit. Now it's time to charge the Kia E-Niro. We've had a long drive, time to top it up. Top of that 64 kilowatt hour battery. So I've got this. Kia have a new service called Kia Charge. It comes with an app and this charge card. How does this benefit us? Well, it means instead of having an app for every single place you need to charge your car, this one card and the one Kia Charge app can do it all really, really easily. So let's try it out here and see how easy it is. I'm going to run you through the process. So how does this work? Well, as you would expect, first of all, get access to your charging port on your car. We can open up here. We've got our charging options on the front here. So we go for the CCS 50 kilowatts DC, which this car can do. We connect it up like this. That's all in there. And then we come round to here. We tap our Kia Charge on here, and then we click on the charging. Cable is plugged in, and that's it. How simple is that? No setting up a Kia Charge app. Also, I don't need to use my contactless payment card because sometimes contactless payments don't work, and we're charging. That's a really clever system that Kia have come up with to have this one service which brings everything together and at a discount, and is able to give you access to all of these services without needing different apps. No other car manufacturer has done anything like this yet, and so it's a good move, and it definitely makes owning the Kia E-Niro an even more enticing and rewarding and easy and convenient experience. So we're here at Rugby Services with the Tesla Model 3 long range and the Kia E-Niro. So how did they do? So this car has 77 miles left of range, 31%. The Tesla has 76 miles of range and about 30, what do you think it was? 28%, so 28%. I've got help from behind the camera, as you can see, 28%. Now, like we discussed earlier in the video, the Tesla was preheating the battery, so it's used more power. So when it's plugged into one of the superchargers over there, it will charge faster. But I think what you can see is they have very similar ranges. And actually, that's a huge step for electric cars to have a car like this come along, which has almost comparable, or comparable as this is right now, to the Model 3. And admittedly, there are newer Teslas with longer battery ranges, but still, it's a really, really big step for Kia. And I can't recommend this car enough if you're after a crossover electric SUV. As for the Tesla, I really love driving the Tesla. I love the autopilot. I hated the indicators. If you're a Tesla owner, let me know what you think of the indicators down below. But the car's awesome to drive. The autopilot is fantastic. And you know, Tesla is the standard setter for electric cars. So the competition has come a long way, and Tesla is continuing to innovate on that, obviously, with the new updated versions of the Model 3 and the Model S, and indeed the Model X as well. So exciting for electric cars in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like if you did. Please subscribe for more. I'm going to put Clive's referral code down below. So if you're after Tesla, click on that and use his referral code, because then you can do more drives with me and we can do more range tests.